Welcome to Your.Hopeful.Healing.Pathways. In this video, we explore Chapter 6 of A Guide to Crisis Intervention by Kristi Kanel. This chapter focuses on crises involving loss, whether through death, divorce, separation, or economic instability. Let's begin by examining how these experiences impact clients in crisis and what ethical, cultural, and clinical tools are available to support them. Dr. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross introduced the 5 stages of death and dying: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. These stages are not linear, and not every person experiences them all. Worden offered a complementary perspective: the 4 tasks of mourning. These include accepting the reality of the loss, processing the pain of grief, adjusting to an environment without the deceased, and finding a way to remember while moving forward. Both frameworks help guide our empathy and interventions with bereaved clients. Crisis workers can assist grieving clients by offering space for emotional expression, providing psychoeducation about grief, and referring to support groups or grief counselors when needed. It's important to normalize grief reactions and avoid pathologizing sadness that falls within the expected range. For complicated grief or prolonged bereavement, a referral to a licensed mental health professional is crucial. Economic loss can manifest through job loss, foreclosure, or poverty, often triggering shame, depression, or anxiety. Food insecurity, defined as inconsistent access to adequate food, affects millions of Americans. According to the USDA, this includes people who skip meals, rely on food banks, or face chronic hunger. Crisis intervention at this level may involve connecting clients with housing support, food pantries, SNAP benefits, and mental health resources for depression or trauma. Separation and divorce can create crises marked by loss of identity, custody, battles, economic instability, and loneliness. Crisis workers must validate the emotional complexity of breakups, support parenting transitions when children are involved, and help clients identify healthy coping strategies. The prevalence of divorce in the United States makes it a common issue for clinical attention, yet each case carries unique grief and adjustment demands. When supporting clients through loss, focus on the following. Allow space for grief expression. Assess for risk of depression or suicidal ideation. Provide information about normal grief patterns. Refer to community supports like support groups, churches, or case management services. Maintain cultural sensitivity. Grieving rituals and emotional expression vary widely across cultures. It's important to avoid assumptions about how someone should grieve. Crisis workers must approach loss through a lens of cultural humility and openness. For example, in some cultures, public mourning is expected, while in others, grief is a private process. Your role is to meet clients where they are without imposing your values. To summarize, this chapter highlights the psychological stages and tasks of grieving, economic hardship and food insecurity as crisis triggers, the emotional complexity of divorce and separation, the need for trauma-informed, culturally aware interventions. Loss is not always visible. Whether it's financial or relational, loss demands a compassionate and clinically sound response. This video was created for educational purposes by Harmison and Your.Hopeful.Healing.Pathways using GPT-generated script content rendered with NVIDIA AI. This content does not constitute legal or clinical advice. We encourage further reading of A Guide to Crisis Intervention by Kristi Kanel for deeper exploration.